Beneath the clamor of modern life, beneath the layers of centuries, lies a whisper, a sigh, the echo of an empire forged by dreamers, warriors, poets, and kings. An empire that rose from the dust of conquest to touch the zenith of artistry, power, and human passion, leaving behind monuments that still make the heart ache with their beauty. This is the story of the Mughals, not just a dynasty, but a universe spun from ambition, painted with genius, scored by love and loss, etched in marble and memory. It is a river of time, flowing from the fierce mountains of the north, spreading across the plains of Hindustan, shimmering with unparalleled brilliance before, inevitably, merging with the endless ocean of history. Forget the dry dates and battles for a moment. Come, feel the pulse of this extraordinary age. Let the grandeur wash over you. Our story begins not in India, but in the restless heart of Central Asia, with Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad Babur, a prince descended from conquerors, Timur the Lame on one side, Genghis Khan on the other. His veins pulsed with the legacy of empire, yet fate initially offered him only exile. Driven from his beloved Fergana, his spirit, fierce and poetic, yearned for a kingdom. He was a warrior who penned verses laced with longing for the melons and streams of his homeland, a king who found solace in designing gardens amidst the chaos of campaigning. Hindustan called a land fabled for its riches, fractured by internal strife. With a force small in number but large in courage and tactical brilliance, Babur the Tiger descended upon the plains. At Panipat in 1526, the earth trembled. Against the mighty Lodi Sultanate, Babur's innovative use of cannon and cavalry tactics carved a bloody victory. The Delhi Sultanate fell. A new era had dawned, heralded by gunpowder and the will of a king who carried the memory of distant mountains in his heart. He ruled Hindustan for only 4 short years, this poet king. He yearned for the cool air of Kabul, yet he laid the foundation stone unknowingly for one of the world's most magnificent empires. His legacy was not just conquest, but the introduction of a Central Asian aesthetic, a love for ordered nature, and a dynasty that would forever change the face of India. Babur's son, Humayun, inherited the throne, but not his father's unwavering grip on fortune. He was a scholar, a mystic, a man fascinated by astrology and the arts, perhaps more suited to a library than a battlefield. His name meant fortunate, yet his early reign was anything but. Challenges rose like desert storms. The Afghan Shah Jahan, a brilliant strategist, ripped the fledgling empire from Humayun's grasp, forcing him into a long, bitter exile. For 15 years, Humayun wandered, a king without a kingdom. Yet this exile was not merely a hardship, it was a transformation. In the refined courts of Persia, he absorbed the elegance of Safavid culture, art, and architecture. He gathered strength, allies, and a renewed determination, fueled perhaps by the promise whispered by the stars he so loved to watch. His time in the wilderness steeped him in a culture that would later enrich the Mughal tapestry immeasurably. Fortune, ever fickle, finally smiled upon him. With Persian aid, Humayun clawed his way back, reclaiming his throne in Delhi. But his second reign was tragically brief. An accidental fall down his library stairs, a scholar's end for a wandering king, cut short his renewed ambitions. Yet, his legacy endured. He preserved the Mughal dream through its darkest hour, and he brought back with him the seeds of Persian artistry that would blossom spectacularly under his son. His tomb, commissioned by his widow, Haji Begum, stands as a sublime precursor to the Taj Mahal, a testament to love and the enduring influence of Persia on Mughal soil. His tomb, commissioned by his widow, Haji Begum, stands as a sublime precursor to the Taj Mahal, a testament to love and the enduring influence of Persia on Mughal soil. From the ashes of uncertainty rose an emperor destined for greatness, Jalal-ud-Din Muhammad Akbar. Ascending the throne as a mere boy, guided initially by his regent Bayram Khan, Akbar possessed an extraordinary combination of boundless energy, military genius, administrative acumen, and a profoundly curious, searching soul. He could not read or write easily, yet his intellect soared, constantly questioning, seeking, striving to understand the vast, diverse empire he inherited. Akbar understood that an empire built solely on conquest could not endure. He sought to build bridges, not walls. He abolished the discriminatory jizya tax on non-Muslims, married Rajput princesses, integrating proud Hindu warrior clans into the highest echelons of his nobility. He created a sophisticated administrative system, ensuring stability and prosperity across his vast domains. He was not just conquering lands, he was weaving together the disparate threads of India into a cohesive whole. His quest for understanding culminated in the unique experiment at Fatehpur, Sikri, his stunning, short-lived capital. Here in the Ibadat Khana, the house of worship, Akbar invited theologians and philosophers from all faiths to debate the nature of truth. Imagine the scene: learned men, under the emperor's watchful eye, exploring the deepest questions of existence, seeking common ground. This unparalleled intellectual ferment reflected Akbar's own spiritual journey, his belief that divinity could be found in multiple paths. He even attempted to synthesize faiths in his Din-e-Ilahi, a creed emphasizing virtue, loyalty, and rational piety. Akbar's court was a dazzling constellation of talent. The Navratnas, his 9 jewels, luminaries in fields ranging from music and poetry to administration and wit. He patronized art that blended Persian finesse with Indian vibrancy, creating the unique Mughal miniature style. Under his reign, literature, architecture, music, and philosophy flourished, making his era a true renaissance. He was Akbar the Great, not just for his conquests, but for his expansive mind, his inclusive vision, and his enduring attempt to build an empire founded on mutual respect and shared prosperity. He was the soul of the Mughal zenith. Akbar's son Salim ascended the throne as Jahangir, meaning conqueror of the world. Yet his true passion lay not in vast conquests, but in the intricate beauty of the world around him. He was an aesthete, a connoisseur, a man deeply sensitive to nature and art. He continued his father's policies, maintaining the empire's stability, but his heart resonated more with the delicate veins of a tulip petal or the precise rendering of a falcon by his master painters like Ustad Mansour. Under Jahangir, Mughal painting reached new heights of realism and refinement. He possessed a keen eye for detail and a scientific curiosity, commissioning portraits and studies of flora and fauna that were both artistically brilliant and remarkably accurate. His memoirs, the Tuzuk-e-Jahangiri, reveal a personality capable of both refinement and cruelty, a lover of beauty who also indulged in wine and opium, a complex man ruling a complex empire. But Jahangir's reign is inseparable from the story of his remarkable wife, Nur Jahan, light of the world. An intelligent, ambitious, and politically astute woman, Nur Jahan rose from relative obscurity to become the de facto ruler of the empire during Jahangir's later years, especially as his health declined due to addiction. She was a patron of architecture, designed gardens, influenced fashion, and wielded immense power. Her name appeared on coins alongside the emperor's, an unprecedented honor. Theirs was a partnership of shared aesthetic sensibilities, and for Nur Jahan, significant political influence, a fascinating chapter of power dynamics within the imperial court. Together, they presided over an era of continued prosperity and cultural brilliance. While perhaps lacking Akbar's visionary zeal, Jahangir's reign, guided significantly by Nur Jahan, maintained the empire's artistic momentum, perfecting the forms and sensibilities inherited from his father, leaving behind a legacy of exquisite taste and the enduring image of a powerful empress who shaped the destiny of an empire. If Akbar was the soul and Jahangir the eye of the Mughal Empire, then Shah Jahan, king of the world, was its supreme architect, its master builder. He inherited a stable and prosperous empire, and he channeled its immense resources into creating monuments of unparalleled beauty, transforming the Mughal capitals into architectural wonderlands. His name is forever synonymous with one building, perhaps the most famous testament to love ever created, the Taj Mahal. Built as a mausoleum for his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died tragically in childbirth, the Taj Mahal transcends mere architecture. It is a poem etched in stone, a teardrop on the cheek of eternity. Imagine the 22 years of labor, the thousands of artisans, the river of wealth poured into its creation. White marble that seems to float, inlaid with precious gems forming intricate floral patterns, perfect symmetry reflecting in the tranquil pools. It is a vision of paradise on earth born from inconsolable grief. But Shah Jahan's ambition extended far beyond the Taj. He rebuilt the fort in Agra, constructed the magnificent Red Fort and the Jama Masjid in his new capital, Shah Jahanabad, that's Old Delhi, a city designed to reflect imperial power and order. His reign represented the zenith of Mughal architectural achievement, a period of dazzling opulence, elaborate court rituals, and staggering displays of wealth, symbolized by the legendary, though later lost, Peacock Throne. This golden age, however, shimmered atop deep foundations of immense expenditure and growing tensions. The cost of Shah Jahan's monumental projects strained the imperial treasury, and beneath the glittering surface of court life, the bitter rivalries among his sons simmered, particularly the ambition of the pious and ruthless Aurangzeb. The marble dream was breathtaking, but its perfection held the seeds of future conflict. The king of the world would ultimately find his final years not on the Peacock Throne, but as a prisoner, gazing across the river at the monument built for his eternal love. The glittering reign of Shah Jahan ended in a bitter war of succession. Emerging victorious was his son, Aurangzeb Alamgir, conqueror of the universe. A stark contrast to his predecessors, Aurangzeb was a man of deep Islamic piety, military discipline, and relentless determination. He was also complex and controversial. He saw himself as a righteous ruler, guided by orthodox Islamic law, seeking to purify the empire and expand its boundaries to their furthest limits. Aurangzeb was a tireless administrator and a formidable military commander. He spent much of his long reign campaigning, particularly in the Deccan, pushing the frontiers of the Mughal Empire to their greatest geographical extent. He lived an austere life, shunning the opulence of his father's court, dedicating himself to governance and religious observance. He saw the empire not just as a territory, but as a domain ruled under strict Islamic principles. Yet his unwavering orthodoxy led him to reverse many of Akbar's policies of tolerance. He reimposed the jizya tax, destroyed prominent Hindu temples, and alienated large sections of the population, particularly the Marathas under Shivaji, the Sikhs, and Rajputs. While driven by his own sense of religious duty, these actions fractured the delicate social compact that Akbar had carefully woven. sowing seeds of rebellion and resentment that would plague the empire's final years. The empire under Aurangzeb reached its maximum size, but it was stretched thin, exhausted by incessant warfare and internal dissent. His long reign, marked by military success and pious austerity, paradoxically weakened the very foundations of Mughal power. The conqueror of the universe ruled a vast dominion, but the cost of its expansion and the alienation of its diverse peoples cast a long, ominous shadow towards the future. Aurangzeb's death in 1707 marked the beginning of the end. The mighty river of the Mughal Empire began to break apart, its tributaries asserting their independence. A succession of weak rulers, court intrigues, and power struggles paralyzed the center. Regional powers, long suppressed, rose with renewed vigor. The Marathas surged across central India, the Sikhs carved out their domain in the Punjab, and provincial governors became effectively independent rulers. The weakened empire became prey to external invaders. The Persian Nadir Shah's devastating sack of Delhi in 1739 stripped the capital of its remaining wealth, including the legendary Peacock Throne. European trading companies, particularly the British East India Company, exploited the chaos, gradually transforming their commercial presence into political dominance. The grandeur faded, replaced by fragility and fragmentation. The emperors became mere figureheads, shadows of their glorious ancestors. The final blow came with the Great Revolt of 1857, after which the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, a poet of considerable merit himself, was exiled by the British, ending the dynasty forever. The final blow came with the Great Revolt of 1857. After that, the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was, well, a poet of considerable merit himself, was exiled by the British, ending the dynasty forever. The Mughal Empire is gone. The Peacock Throne is lost. The emperors sleep in dust. But look around. Listen closely. The grandeur has not entirely vanished. It echoes in the magnificent tombs and forts that defy time. It whispers in the Urdu language, enriched by Persian and courtly grace. It dances in the intricate steps of Kathak. It delights the senses in the rich flavors of Mughlai cuisine. It lives on in the patterns of textiles, the designs of jewelry, the techniques of miniature painting. The Mughals were more than just rulers. They were patrons, poets, builders, lovers, mystics, and warriors. Their legacy is complex, woven with threads of breathtaking beauty and brutal conquest, enlightened tolerance and rigid dogma, unifying vision and fragmenting dissent. They represent a pivotal chapter in India's story, a period of intense cultural fusion and artistic brilliance that forever shaped the subcontinent's identity. Their grandeur reminds us of the heights human ambition and creativity can reach, while their decline speaks to the impermanence of power. They left behind a dreamscape in stone and memory, a testament to a time when emperors sought to build paradise on earth. And though their empire faded like a twilight mist, the echoes of their magnificent, turbulent, and profoundly human story continue to resonate, inspiring awe and reflection, an indelible part of the soul of India. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Past Matter for more past awesome stories, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of the past.